Welcome to my work. Healing and Growth with Martin Perkins is a consciousness practice based in acupuncture and as well in my teaching work. I offer courses both to the public and as well to other acupuncturists. The courses are both in person as well as online, and I encourage you to explore. Ask questions, email me, find out more, because from my perspective, the only way that you're going to reach the goals that you seek in this life is by learning more about who you are. And to know that, I would suggest to you, is the deepest and most connected way that you can connect with your soul's purpose in this life.
So lately I said I've been a little melancholy.
Yeah.
And when I'm talking, because I actually feel the most confident I've ever felt in my life.
Yeah.
But then when I'm talking, I feel the melancholy coming out, and that I don't feel confident anymore.
Okay.
Because I feel like I'm not present. Because because it's just all bubbling out. All this melancholiness is bubbling out in my voice.
Okay.
So, am I present? Am I not present? Because it's a harsh judgment of me speaking with emotion in my voice.
It's less about melancholy when you're speaking to others, and it's more what you're concerning yourself with is vulnerability.
It's worrying about what they're going to think about
Correct.
my emotional state at the time or whatever.
A necessary part of your healing journey is your willingness to be vulnerable in this way. Feel here. Not with your hand, with your body, with yourself. Connect that to here, and then feel it here. Okay? I don't know that there's necessarily a pattern, but feel the heart to the throat, and be very aware. Okay? Be very aware of the dark feelings and the dark thoughts. Okay? And when they, particularly between here and here, okay? Because I can see like a black spot here. I can feel a black spot. Okay? Now, ironically, the black spot isn't because you're having them, but because you're not letting yourself have them. You have negative judgments about your negative feelings.
Yes.
Okay? Give yourself permission to allow them to come down. And then the other place they get caught up here is at the second chakra. Okay? Because that's another place where you go, it's not okay. Okay? It's not okay here. And it's your throat chakra is actually wanting to give them voice.
Okay.
Now, imagine for a moment that the throat chakra is not only about expressing outward, but also expressing inward. In this way, it's a healing and growth opening. Imagine for a moment that it wants to send down and basically give yourself permission, but your heart's going, no way, we can't let those things in. And yet it's all here. It's all here already. It's okay to have negative thought. The question is, what do you do with it? Okay? Every human being has them. Okay? The most conscious beings have negative thoughts. What they do with them is They allow them to be felt. It's important for you to recognize that there's a way in which what's coming in and what's flowing through, it's being edited. And so you don't need to control that. Let whatever arises just flow through. Soften the breath a bit and be very aware of allowing whatever's coming in to energetically flow through, to energetically flow through, to energetically flow through. All of you is present. Okay? There is a way to bring that into every moment. Okay? And to take it, kind of slam open the door. And I would suggest to you that each of you has places where your work with dementia patients, it's a familiar place. Your work with children, it's a familiar place to do that. Your work with, as a facilitator in meditation, it's becoming a more familiar place where you know you don't have to plan all this out. I mean, I watched you 6 months, a year ago, kind of working with that and beginning to recognize, yes, I need to be prepared, but the preparation really is about me really being fully present. And less about, oh, I need to organize this, I need to get all this in line so that this can be the best class. The best class arises when you're really here. Okay? It's why I describe you as a beacon of light. Because that's what you're potentiating. You're learning how to do this with your whole being. To receive, you already kind of give it, but you don't know how to receive it. And you're learning that. You're learning how to receive the notion. Because it's a little bit, it's incomplete. Because you're not yet fully willing a lot of the time to take that in. The moment you begin to take that in fully, and that's a key element of this work and that I want to articulate. We're told over and over again in our culture that to err is to be human. Okay? I agree. That is an aspect of being human, to be forgiving, to be understanding, to be grateful for what we are versus what we aspire to be, right? To allow those elements to exist in whatever state that they are right now, and be accepting of that. And yet there's an element of this which I find needing tending in our larger world, which is when we see someone operating from a place of presence, there's very little acknowledgement of that. There's very, we want to forgive the individual who is human. But what about what we choose to emulate? Because I think too often people choose to create a whole set of excuses as to why they're not truly connecting in presence. And so the reason is because you're not practicing. It's a practice. It's like anything else. You choose it or you don't choose it. And you keep choosing it, and the practice becomes more and more embodied. Now, I'm not here to tell you that what I do is what it'll look like for you. But I can promise you that in each of you, what started out, at the beginning of our classes as a very sporadic practice, has now reached the point where a significant amount of each day is spent in presence, depending upon the individual, depending upon the day. Okay? My offer to you is there's a way in which the rutted pattern continues to kind of dictate that personal story. And that it is possible to not dwell in that old pattern at all. Now, that's not to say that the pattern won't show up. Okay? Dwelling in the pattern and not having the pattern show up are two different things. That's to say that the pattern doesn't show up isn't to imply basically that I don't have shit. That's completely preposterous. Of course I've got crap that I'm dealing with. The difference is how I'm relating to it. And the degree to which, when it comes up, I bring my attention to it. I practice with it.